What's up, chaps and chapettes? Welcome back to another video. So this is actually a really decent one right here. We built this 4-4-2 team, kind of just like a vibe. It was a hybrid of Juventus, Bayern Munich. Mbirchy obviously used to play for Bayern Munich alongside Müller up top. And he's kind of like an anti-meta player with great jumping, great finishing, great attacking positioning. Just not much pace, but it seems to work with the way the game is right now. So the tactics, quite basically the most important thing here is the depth. Right now, the AI is so overpowered at defending deep. When I was playing on FUT Champions, the majority of players were just grabbing their CDMs in like a 4-2-3-1 and setting their defense really deep. And the reason being is, the only thing that the AI can't really handle at the moment is in behind through balls. Everything else, if you can sit deep and just like use your CDM to block passing lanes, the defense just handles itself a bit too well right now. Definitely does need a patch, because it does just lower the skill gap. It means that people can defend without even having to really do much at all. So we get into the game, and basically what we're doing a lot of the time is just crossing it into the box. Look at that, Müller gets it. Kadira towers above. So the way this sort of formation was working is that I would just kind of pile it into the box, and, you know, Müller's got that great attacking positioning. I believe he's like 93 attacking positioning. And I was actually really, really impressed with both Mbirchy and Müller. They're able to hold off. Strength is a genuinely decent thing on this game. You can hold off attackers. And also, not just that, but with through balls in behind right now, I actually quite like him, to be honest, because Müller's been able to get away from the defenders and stuff like that. And, you know, these are like 80 pace players with chem stars, definitely not into the 90 pace, and they work well. So I'm actually really impressed with that, and I think it does widen the sort of player pool. And, you know, like, I've made these little vibe teams throughout FIFA, like having, like, I don't know, Giroud up top and stuff like that. And they just never work. And this is one of the first teams that has, like, that vibe about it, which is a good bit of fun. You know, Thomas Müller, Mbirchy, whip it in, hope for the best type vibe. And it actually works really well. So I was having a hell of a time playing this right here. So they're just winning everything in the air. I don't know whether you saw that. Müller just winning it, just giving it down to Mbirchy. And I have to give credit where credit is due at the moment. In terms of gameplay, crossing is so good. It's better than it has been for a long time. I feel like it's part of the game that's been missing. You know, there is plenty of positives to take from the game right now, but at the same time, there's plenty of negatives, you know. I mean, I'm not going to get into them now. I might write like a little thread or do like a review on FIFA 19 as is, but there is actually going to be a patch coming out pretty soon. So basically, also, what I'm showing here, I'm playing like a bunch of games in Division Rivals. I think I'm like Division 4, and Division Rivals is actually pretty difficult this year. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's genuinely quite difficult, as we get a lovely little goal there. Ribery, who actually seems to be good, gives it to Müller, and he tucks it away once again, the finishing. I mean, that's a sitter anyway, but look at this. Mbirchy. I literally love that vibe of just whipping it in. But yeah, no, wait, what was I saying before? I was saying, I don't know. I don't even remember what I was saying. But basically, I don't know, like, the game has got a lot of positives, like the crossing, for example. And I feel like we're almost like abusing that in a way. Like, we're just crossing it in quite a lot. But realistically, it's not overpowered. Like, a lot of people are saying that crosses are kind of overpowered. I don't think they are. I think it's just good to have it back in the game. But yeah, Divisions Rivals, as I was saying, is very difficult at the moment. It is very difficult. And I think it's one of the best things that's ever happened to FIFA is we draw against this guy who had a sick team with, I think, R9 up top. Absolutely crazy. No goals. But it's more difficult than it's ever been. Like, in terms of midweek football, it's actually very, very good. And I have to give props once again to EA. They've made a game mode where it's very good for practicing, especially if you want to become good at the game. Ready for FUT Champions, you can become good at the game because you have to play against some of the best players, really, to get through the divisions. And we turn off time finishing there. So I'm literally showing every single one of these games as if it was a road to glory. I'm playing game after game after game. I'm literally showing every single game that I played with this team and showing you me progressing up through Division 4. And like I say, it is difficult. These are good teams. These are good players. In fact, I went on FUT Champions. When I went on FUT Champions last weekend, I was going into some Division Rivals games, and I was genuinely, like, losing the games. I mean, I was going on FUT Champions, and I was kind of, like, strolling, especially at the start. So it just comes to show that the standard, even in Division 4, is actually very difficult. And I've seen some people, like, saying, like, on Twitter and stuff, like, they should make a more casual game mode. Because to be fair, it is basically kind of at the moment squad battles, as they just see like the sort of casual market. But for people that don't want to do that, Divisions rivals can be a bit too difficult. But I just hope they don't change it. I really hope they don't just like bow down to the casual players there and just make Divisions rivals like nowhere near as difficult and stuff like that. Because at the moment, it is so good from a competitive player's standpoint. You know, maybe they should just do, like, I was saying just do gold tournaments, to be honest. Like, the old gold tournaments they used to have in FIFA were actually so sick. You know, even if it was just... Because at the end of the day, like, we're getting coins kind of, like, every week. But it would be cool if you could get coins a bit quicker in terms of, like, right now, when you need the coins right now. So doing, like, little gold tournaments where maybe you win, like, 5k, stuff like that. And maybe even, like... the FUT Champs qualification tournaments and stuff like that would actually... I think they'd be quite a good addition to come back to the game, as well as... Actually, maybe it would ruin this game mode a little bit, but for me, this is just practice for FUT Champs and overall great experience. So, the 4-4-2, just getting into the actual formation, I mean, it's working a charm here. We're coming up against sick opponents, as we missed a penalty there. 2-1 win. Excuse me. We literally won every single game. Look at this team here. He's got Rude Hullet, my goodness. But the 4-4-2 works really well. And one of the reasons being the two strikers in the middle. Crossing is just very, very powerful in this game right now, which I absolutely love, like I say. Thomas Müller just grabbing a beautiful goal there. And I really do love how Mandzukic and Müller are genuinely coming up against some really great defenders. It just bounces off him in. Mandzukic in the little chippity chip. I mean, we're up against, not in this game here, but we were up against like the likes of Ramos and stuff like that. And, you know, they're holding their own. They really are playing pretty decent. And I like how, because of like the kind of dribbling in behind mechanics and stuff like that, I think it's also, there's some, I don't know what it is specifically, but even the slow players, like I say, are able to actually get in behind, which I really like. Like Mandzukic and Müller, when you play them in behind, they are actually going to be able to get away from defenders and stuff, which I found really great. It's almost like, I don't know whether they've, like, patched the game already. I don't think they have, but for some reason I seem to have noticed, like, players on the ball, when you flick the right stick and stuff, actually do get away from the defenders a bit easier than they did initially. I don't know whether that's, like, a slight change they made. So I beat this sick team, and I'm not going to make any accusations, but it's almost like he DDoSed me or something. Like, I literally get to the 90th minute and the game disconnects. If this happens in FUT Champs, I'm flipping my chair. We get a disconnect after winning. So, I mean, I'm just going to say we're technically unbeaten. I mean, that's a DNF when it's literally the last minute of the game and we'd already won. And, in fact, the whistle had already blown. So, I don't know. What can you do? What can you do? Apparently, EA can't handle the vibes, you know. They can't handle their own meta in a way, just, like, whipping it in. I mean, it is semi-meta. I'd say right now the meta really is deep defense, 4-2-3-1, and finesse shots, mainly. I think crossing is very powerful as well. As you can see, once again, this is a top-tier team. We've got Sergio Ramos in that defense. Courtois in goal. I love this goal. This is my favorite goal I scored. Oh, mate, I love to see it. I absolutely love to see cross goals. This guy seems to actually know how to do the corners. This guy really did. He whips it in for Kondogbia, who gets a goal there. I love this as well. Müller gets the ball, takes a touch, and then I did like a fake shot, but then I decided to just go ahead and shoot it. So it kind of like did the fake shot animation and then just like seamlessly went straight into the shot, which I thought was pretty sick. We give away a penalty, gets back to 3-2. He's using Ramos. We just box him in, and a 4-4-2 doing a really great job here. And Müller, what a finish. Like I say, he's got all the finishing stats. He's got all the shooting stats. Lacking the pace, but it really doesn't matter at the moment. So I honestly just hope they don't patch the game to take away the likes of Müller being decent. You know, like I really hope that they don't kind of mess that up, because at the moment I really do enjoy being able to use slower players. I'd even, like, before, you would turn a blind eye to people like Lewandowski, people like Müller, you know, slower strikers, people like Diego Costa. But at the moment, to be honest, from what I'm using and, like, the way I'm playing, these players would actually be pretty sick, pretty viable in the game. So, we're just winning game after game here. As you can see, we're so close now to Division 3, and we should actually already be in Division 3. I think we would have been if we didn't get that stupid little disconnect in this game. We're up against Juventus, and I thought it was like... I thought it was like a sign that we were going to lose because obviously we're Bayern Munich doing a hybrid with Juventus. It was almost like the two teams fighting against each other as we get a ball in. Mandzukic heading it into the top corner. Beautiful goal once more in the corner. This is actually such a sick goal coming up. Bernardaschi, I think, running down this right-hand side. Used the right back. Gets that inside space. Müller, what a header. Mate, I swear, Müller's just got that vibe. Like, he's always that player in real life that always is in the right place at the right time. He's just one of the best poachers to ever play the game, really. Like, he always is in that right place at the right time. We're running down this left-hand side with Ribery, who I was getting on really well with. I think he's got 5-star skill. Really good dribbling, too. Pace not the best with a Hunter Chem style. He seemed to be pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. Müller getting a shot away. Keeper saves. Bernardaschi goes out for a corner. And have a look at this. Whipped in Mandzukic. What a... Like, this team was so fun to play with. And we're unbeaten. We're winning every single game. 45,000 coins this team cost me, which really isn't that much at all. In fact, I think that's like 1 week of division rivals or something like that. That's literally nothing. Yeah, this is on my second account, by the way. This isn't my Road to Glory, of course. But we get to Division 3. Those of you that have played the game, you'll know that, like, the standard of opponents we're playing here is actually decent too. So that is going to be the end of the video. 4-4-2 ended up working really well. These tactics and the players. It was just such a sick time. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed making this video. Make sure to leave a like if you want to see more of these types of videos. And I'll see you on the next Mbirchy episode. Oof. Got FIFA 19 of this time, we ain't giving up. We ain't throwing in a towel. Top 100 on my CV, yeah, you rate me now. See my game attack, you back it now. This channel growing, yeah, we're gonna sprout. Not an ounce of self-doubt, that's a self-L. Like Microsoft, I excel. Changing up the game, competition quaking in their boots. FIFA's back, channel heading back to the roost.